What's good, YouTube land? It's not only Studio Series that's rehashing Combiner Wars. While Legacy gave us the Stunticons, still hasn't finished the G2 set, Age of the Primes is giving us the Aerobots. Starting with Slingshot. I didn't have a Slingshot before this. I didn't get the Combiner Wars one. I got Alpha Bravo and, the regular retail ones. This is my first Slingshot. Is it just me, or is he bald? And not in a particularly good-looking way. Although the orange Ray-Bans are pretty cool. Bobby Ray-Bans. So, apparently Slingshot is a self-aggrandizing jerk in the G1 cartoon, which, I mean, if they named this thing that killed Goliath after you, you wouldn't be able to shut up about it either. And let's do a size comparison. Combiner Wars Firefly. He's gonna get remolded from this guy. Well, remolded, it's just gonna be this guy with a new head in a later wave. Other than the random orange on the head, I think he looks pretty good. He's got his wings on the back and his nose cone just on his back, but you can put it on his head for a sort of novelty Pope hat kind of thing. How do we feel about the first ever American Pope? And let's take a look at the rest of him. I like how square and rectangle he is. Just generic, just rectangle limbs, square body, square head. Some pointy feet. You can pop this off. Whoops. For a cleaner robot mode, I guess. But what I was trying to do was lower down the wheel to kind of give him a ponytail thing, or maybe a man bun. No, that's too douchey. Let's put his backpack back on. And he comes with a pair of blasters. And they're supposed to go in his hands, but I don't really like the look of them. They look too flat for me. Like, sure, but I prefer give him a little something and arm mount them. So now he can go in. Oh, right. A pew pew, a pew pew, a pew pew. A pew pew. So, new version of the Aerobot, let's look at the posability, starting with the ball jointed neck, which has a good amount of downrange, a tiny bit of looking up, side to side, all the way around. Shoulders are a bit awkward. They're jointed right there, and they also have that. But they do give you full swing, full outwards. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, that's nice. It's mainly for the transformation, but it still is very nice. And no wrist swivel. No wrist swivel. Stuck. Part of the jet mode stuff. You do have a waist swivel. Hips. Full range. Beautiful spread. Thigh swivel. Just under, or roughly 90 degrees of knee bend. Although given the transformation is similar to the Combiner Wars, he unfortunately has that gap in his leg. What he has that the Combiner Wars doesn't: ankle tilt. Very deep. And even a bit of a toe bend. So he has more individualistic posing range than the previous attempt. Looking at all the ball joints there. We can turn him into a jet. So rotate the head, fold down that, fold the cockpit over, bend the arm, you rotate. Wait, which way? No, you're going to fold it back, I think. Let's rotate up and fold it in right there. Wow. So simple, even I somehow forgot, but do the same thing. And then the nose cone is going to plug into the arms. Fold the foot, fold the tail fin together, open the leg, and accordion. Accordion the leg until it closes in, and there you have one leg. Fold, fold, open, and you can rotate up the tail fin. Doing the same thing on the other side. Make sure they also peg together. And there you have his jet mode. Very simple. I like what the arms do. I like that the arms just don't hang out on the side. They actually form the decent bit of the fuselage. That's nice. I like that. And it has a fairly decent side profile. But this is apparently a Sea Harrier, or an approximation of one. In solid white, it looks good. Looks very NASA. Or I guess NASA don't make planes, but if they did, the black and white, although the red and blue, while they say America, they don't really say NASA. So you have some flapping of the wings and a fold of the tail fin. And the guns can plug under the wings. And while the landing gear is very tiny and doesn't roll, it's still there. But here's how he looks next to Firefly. And I can see this thing in red. I think it'll look good. But God, I forgot the feel of Combiner Wars plastic. It's not the best. Not the best. Very creaky. And technically we have a third mode. Although this being the same kind of combiner as Menasor, and this being an arm, you can kind of see if you slide a flat tool right in here, you can have an ejector seat. But then, say, fold the wings in, and probably would, yeah, I think you would. Or you don't have to, maybe you just keep the feet fold, but there's your arm mode. It's going to go like that. Which means you can have him swap pants with drag strip, shadow strip, dead end, G2 dead end, anybody who has that same arm connector. But we'll check that out in a possible Superion review. This guy apparently has the function to be either side instead of just one side like the Stunticons did. I still don't have a Motormaster, G2 or otherwise. But, you know, I think this guy's alright. He's very basic, but he does what he does very solidly. And I kind of think he's cool in a very basic way. Like, the coolest thing he does is that arm transformation. And that, honestly, that's a lot cooler than I expected, like, right out of the box. Die swivel. That's it for Slingshot. And we'll come check out this mold again when it's Firefly. But I don't know. I don't think we're getting an Alpha Bravo. Even though there is a very nice helicopter mold in Vortex, which I missed. I missed. Walmart released him early somehow. They said, fuck the street date. I didn't find one, but I'll pick up a Vortex once he gets fully released. But if you want a Slingshot, you should still be able to get him. Wave 1 hasn't left shelves. It's probably shelf forming somewhere. Probably find him somewhere. He's better than the Combiner Wars one, I guess. Or the Combiner Wars version of the mold. And I don't know. Something about Slingshots. Anyway. Until next time. Keep it weird. Bye. New.